when it comes to fighting.
That's
if
why I want to see
McGregor
him
was
fight,
like Michael
bro.
Jordan on the basketball court, Jake is like your high school gym teacher who has a decent jump shot. They are on two different levels, and I feel that
Oh
one of
man,
the
that's
reasons...
disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Man, that shit so filthy. Hold me up in the back, he be shooting the block like it's healthy. Got a Glock on my...
Ah! What's up, y'all boys? I know I didn't post yesterday and all, but we back today. We got Jake Paul, Conor McGregor, who I guess Conor McGregor finally spoke his piece. And he's out here talking now. But before we get into this video, it's your boy Loaded Reacts. Let me load it and do another reaction. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Hit post notifications. Let's get into this reaction, y'all.
And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Conor McGregor calling out and exposing Jake Paul and YouTube boxing. But you're going to want to watch till the end because a certain podcaster gives the biggest problem Jake Paul will face if he decides to fight Conor McGregor.
Right.
But before we get into it, first off, if you want
is
more
he mad or
videos
something?
on
What,
Jake
is
Paul
he holding
and
it back
Conor
or something?
McGregor beef, make sure you like this video, and if we can
Paul,
hit 5K likes, then I'll make a part 5 to this series.
Oh, he's crying.
Also, if you want more YouTube news like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that red button down below.
Hey man, if you know what's going on with Jake Paul right here, bro, let me know in the comments down below, bro. Why is he crying and getting held back? Someone in the hospital or something?
But besides that, let's
looks like
get
he's
straight into today's video.
So
as we all know, this rumor of Conor McGregor and Jake Paul has been going on for a while now. In my last video, we heard a response from Conor's team saying that Conor has been strictly focusing on his upcoming UFC fight. However, with Conor doing more and more interviews leading up to his return, an interview on Bloomberg Television led to an interviewer asking Conor directly on what he thinks about Jake Paul directly, and here is finally Conor's response to Jake Paul's antics.
If they are fighting, well then it can't make a mockery of fighting, right? They're getting in and they're competing. You know, I am not so much against it. What I would say is though the numbers that show calculated was it was a Mike Tyson fight. You know, you had Tyson an icon in fighting, as well as Roy Jones Jr., two goats in the sport of combat.
Okay, so he's saying that the only reason people watched his fight is because they had people behind him like Mike Tyson fighting after him, bro. So that's the only reason he said people watched the fight.
You know, and then you had the YouTube kid and then an NBA star competing underneath that. So it done good business.
Okay, so first off, Conor is a straight up savage referring to Jake as just the YouTube kid. Like, Conor don't even want to mention your name. That's how irrelevant you are, Jake Paul, to Conor. But at the moment, what he did say made complete sense. Jake has...
You want to make every game interesting?
You got the ads, bro. How much times have y'all seen this specific ad, bro? How much times have y'all seen this specific ad?
To realize he wasn't the main event fight, and it was Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson that people were buying tickets for. Jake needs to stop acting like he was pulling money for this fight, because he wasn't. And the viewership would not have changed if Jake wasn't even in the pay-per-view fight to begin with. He was an undercard, yet Jake wants to act like he is the reason the fight did so well. But Conor continues to explain what he thinks about YouTube boxing in general, and his response may surprise you.
Am I into those competitions myself? You know, it's not the most high level, if any level at that stage. Obviously, the Tyson and Jones fight was very high level, and it was very interesting to see what they would be like in their older age, or you know. But I thought they both fought amazingly.
I didn't like that fight whatsoever.
You know, if it, as they say, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. I know Dana and the UFC are not really into it, but you know, I'm not so against it. I think you know, if people are willing to get in and take the risk of making that walk, you know, I am certainly a viewer.
Now, this response probably shocked a lot of people, especially since the fact that Jake Paul has been running his mouth for the past month. Yet Conor shows respect, but as you know, Dana White, who is the face of USC, hates anything to do with the Paul brothers and finds his boxing YouTube scene the biggest joke. But as Conor mentioned, if it's pulling money, then there's no problem with it. And it was interesting to see that McGregor seems more for it than against it, but he made a great point saying that this level of boxing isn't a high level. As good as Jake thinks he is, Conor is on a whole different level to Jake when it comes to fighting.
That's why
if
I want to see him
was
fight,
like Michael Jordan on the basketball court, Jake is like your high school gym teacher who has a decent jump shot. They are on two different levels, and I feel that one
man,
of the
that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, bro. Hey, bro, that is disrespectful, bro. I think he's a little better than a high school. That's too big of a difference, bro. Right there, that's too big of a difference. Maybe a rookie, bro, to Michael Jordan's. God damn, rookie
accept this fight is because he takes it as a joke and he already knows he's going to win. Maybe McGregor likes the challenge and Jake Paul is just not one of them. Podcaster Brendan Schaub gave his response to Jake Paul calling out Conor, so there's what he had to say.
The thing that's tough when he goes, well, I'm bigger than him, my reach is on, I get all that, Bubba. I get all that. There's a lot of bouncers in the world who are 6'6", 320 pounds, who are bigger and stronger and way more than Conor. And Conor would starch every single one back to back in a bar fight. I'm speechless. It's crazy. Like, this is the narrative on the show now, where if we would, and I know people are like, dude, you're the one that promoted Conor versus Floyd. Yep.
2 professional fighters.
Yeah, I was. One's one of the greatest strikers in mixed martial arts history in his prime, and the other was out of his prime, and it was a straight boxing match, and it just that made more sense. The narrative of boxing right now in 2020
is Jake Paul a boxer, just a boxer, or is he just a?
Isn't Joshua Pulev who fights this weekend? It's not Joshua versus Tyson Fury.
Under the radar too, by the way. That kind of just came out of nowhere.
No one's talking about it. I mean, the true boxing heads, obviously you guys love it, and I get it, I'm with you. We're talking about, is Tyson going to fight Evander Holyfield? Is Nate Robinson okay? Is Jake Paul going to fight Conor? Is Logan Paul going to fight Floyd Mayweather? Like, that's, as far as media goes, like, that's just such the narrative.
I forgot about his brothers when he fighting Floyd Mayweather.
He himself knows that although Jake thinks he's bigger than Conor, McGregor has ripped bouncers even bigger than Jake, so Jake saying that that's his advantage is laughable. However, what Brendan did shed light on is that Jake, Logan, and also...
Hang on, who was the bouncer that's bigger than Jake that he knocked out? Oh, Floyd Mayweather. But, like, that's the only person. After that, he'll be the other biggest person you ever fought, honestly, man.
SI have made boxing not only just relevant, but are now the narrative about boxing. It's no longer about boxing champions fighting it out, it's now about celebrities settling their beef in the ring, and for Jake and Logan to have this big effect on boxing, you have to respect that. They have reinvented themselves in a way.
If we catch crab in Virginia and Maryland, do we file taxes in each state?
With large catches in both? Yes.
We never thought not only boxing would, but YouTubers would be heading in as well. But Joe Rogan, who is a UFC announcer and has one of the biggest podcasts in the world, had this to say about Jake Paul.
You can't sleep on that kid. That kid can fucking crack.
Yeah.
When you look at how he knocked Nate Robinson out, that short hand that he threw was very skillful.
Real punch.
That was a real punch. And it was perfectly placed.
And
he can hit hard.
All 3 punches were the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're a step back, overhand right.
Yeah.
That's not like got lucky. That's, hey, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, so he's going to charge at you. Just step back and lay a right hand on him.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew exactly it was skillful.
That's something that
was in the middle of a wild brawl.
Personally, bro, I'm a boxer too, man. So I take anything. What he was doing was pretty good, right? That Robinson's trainer is a piece of doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But personally, with me, bro, I would have the fight over in 30 seconds, honestly, bro. If I was fighting Nate Robinson or Jake Paul, bro, I would have it over in like 30 seconds. None of them getting with me, bro. I'm an actual boxer, bro, professional boxer, and we don't lie on this channel either.
Nate Robinson was trying to take his head off, and it was kind of unorthodox, right? So it's dangerous because Nate is super strong. He's a crazy athlete.
Yeah, unreal athlete.
Winging punches at him, and so he's got to figure his way through this maze of bombs headed his way, and he clips them.
Now, I was surprised to hear this, but if Joe Rogan, who has done UFC announcing for many years, says that Jake Paul is a skillful boxer, then yes, maybe I might have been wrong about Jake. I would say I am a bit biased since Jake is one of the cringiest YouTubers out there, but still, I may be wrong and he could possibly have a lot of skill in the way he fights. However, when it comes to his skills matching up against Conor, I'm sorry, it's still not on the same level. Now, on top of all this, we didn't hear much from Conor. However, Conor's coach Kavanaugh, actually came out on Twitter to give his 2 thoughts on what he thinks about Jake Paul and also Logan Paul. He said, with all seriousness of what's going on in the world right now, the thoughts of that TikTok guy Jake Logan having a real boxing match with a genuine pro of Dylan Moran's standard gives me a giggle. His corner better have the towel ready after a round. So as you all know, Dylan Moran was a sparring partner for Conor McGregor that Jake called out. And after Dylan invited Jake to a Doghouse Rules fight, for some reason, the great Jake Paul has gone quiet and not said anything about it. Has he gotten scared, or did he just throw his phone in the ocean? Because a lot of people were...
The Super App 2 is delivering the same performance you got in the first one, but really just fine-tuning and listening to the
called out
response, but maybe he doesn't want the smoke like we thought he did. Speaking of wanting all the smoke, with Jake set to fight Ben Askren later on this year, Dylan Dennis, who is also on Jake's list of people to fight and a good friend of Conor, made an Instagram story stating this: the reason Jake Paul has been so quiet is that I got some heavy info on him. He's been bullying people into hiding it for years. Too bad, little guy, you mess with the wrong gangster, I want all the smoke. So after Dylan Dennis posted this, a lot of people have been waiting for a response from Jake himself, but yet nothing has been said. Maybe Jake has realized what he got himself into, because it seems that Dylan has some info that if he leaked it, it would probably end his career. It's still uncertain on what it was about, but for a loudmouth like Jake to go quiet this much, seems like Dylan Dennis got the upper hand right now. When you're a celebrity, it's hard to hide things forever, and eventually...
Oh man, bro. Man, bro. Conor, bro. You can't let them make you quiet, bro. I thought I was going for you. But, bro, look. I want you to fight anyone you can fight, any professional boxer, bro. I want to see how you are with professionals, bro, not Nate. But we finna catch the video off. It's your boy. No, we finish things like that.